Eleanor, it's wonderful to have you on Floor Talk. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
A pleasure. So now, Eleanor, Luminance started in a Cambridge dorm room in 2015, and today you're working with companies like AMD, LG Chem, and AB InBev. So tell me, what gave you the vision to enter this market ahead of the curve, and how did you build Luminance into the company it is today?
Adam and Graham, who are the founders, they essentially had lots of friends who were lawyers in 2015 who were all complaining about how overwhelmed they were with data. And they both thought, right, AI is going to be at the center of automating and augmenting a lot of this work. So we first started selling to the law firms, and we partnered with law firms to make sure that we were validating our approach. And that led to the springboard to be able to sell to a broader market. And Adam and Graham were building a large language model that was specific to legal. So our AI has been exposed to over 150 million contracts, and that allows us to really understand the legal problem and to automate it end to end.
So now, what exactly is the company? Tell me about Luminance.
We're helping businesses with any interactions that they have with their contracts. So what does that look like in practice? So if you think about it, there are three main things that you'll be doing with contracts. The first one is that you will be creating a contract and drafting a contract. So with Luminance, you can ask the AI to create your contract, and instantaneously that contract will be there for you. The second part is that it automates the process of negotiating a contract. So every single time that one of our customers receives a contract, they'll open within Word Luminance, and automatically they'll see that the contract will have been highlighted green, yellow, and red. Green will be a clause that the AI is saying you're happy to agree to this. Even if there's been a change in it, you're absolutely happy to agree to this particular wording. Red and yellow will be the AI saying you need to further review this, and it will then go one step further and it will give you language that you should use instead. And then when the contract's been agreed, you will then save it onto Luminance, and you'll have a total insights into all of your historical contracts so that you can understand any business obligations or mitigate against risks in the future.
Now, the legal tech market, it's a crowded space. How do you stand apart from others that are in this space?
So we've really built a purpose-built large language model, which is so important when you're addressing the legal problem. Most other companies are sellotaping something like ChatGPT onto their systems, and that's great, but generative models are built to give you an answer and to give you an answer at all costs. When you're working with lawyers, you actually want an AI that changes it and says, you know what, I'm not sure I know the answer. I'm going to hand that back to the lawyer. And that's exactly what we've done with our AI. But fundamentally, our AI works across the entire contract lifecycle and across the whole spectrum. You can use us out the box tomorrow if you want. So the AI straight away will surface up 1,000 out-the-box concepts and clauses, and it will say, here's everything that you might be interested in. But one step further, you can teach it on the fly, so it becomes smarter every single time the user uses it. We've got customers who are coming back to us time and time again. We've been doing this for 10 years now, and we've got customers who trust us and who are seeing real return on investment stats. They're saving time, they're driving efficiencies, they are saving costs, and also they are identifying business opportunities that they didn't even know existed.
Now, Eleanor, tell me, what are you hearing from general counsels when it comes to legal AI? What are their pain points? What are they seeking in terms of solutions from these tools?
There are some common threads that most businesses and most general counsels are faced with. So a few of them is, one, inboxes are overflowing. The second is that they're trying to mitigate against risk. The third is that they know that there is so much worth in their contracts that they can't find. And the fourth is that regulations are changing at such rapid rates. The market's quite convoluted at the moment. There's a lot of companies professing to use AI, some that are real and some that aren't necessarily. And so fundamentally, a lot of people are asking us, how do I trust the technology? Like, how do I know that this is a real AI company? And so one thing that we always speak about at Luminance is we say, just trial it. Any company that's worth their grain of salt, you should be able to trial the AI product. You should be able to see for yourself the time savings, those cost savings, all of those return on investment. And you should be able to see the value from day one.
Now, Luminance has been on an exciting trajectory these past 2 years with over 5 times ARR growth, new offices, new hires, and most recently a $40 million Series B funding round. Congratulations. How do you plan to build on this momentum, and what's ahead for the company as you head into this next phase of growth?
Very exciting couple of years for us. Our ARR has grown over 5x in the last 2 years. Our US customer base has grown by 225% in the last 18 months. And we've just opened up our Dallas office to support that. All of the growth that we've had really until now has been organic growth. The market has come to us. Lawyers have spoken about us highly and they've introduced us to other friends and other businesses. And so what we want to do is continue to capitalize on that and continue to build on that. We're going to live in a world in which AI is going to be ubiquitous. So even if you don't know that you're using AI, you're probably going to be using it on the other side. And at Luminance, that's what we want to be driving. We want to be driving AI both sides of a negotiation for those very low value, high volume, repetitive tasks so that we can all, I think, benefit from an hour back in our day. So if we can give that back to people, then we'll be happy.
Well, it's been wonderful to talk with you, Eleanor. Thank you so much for joining me on Floor Talk.
Thank you so much for having me.